Okay, 15-51, good luck. So we've not played before, there's no head-to-head score there. Only 62 games for my opponent, so it could be underrated, could be still in the process of establishing a rating, but it should still be enough 60 games to broadly establish a rating though. Obviously we'll find it as the game goes on. We're just going to try and develop our pieces and get castled. Bring the bishop up. We could go for that kingside attack just to remove the defending bishop. We could consider that. Or we can just move either pawn, develop the bishop and castle. Obviously at some point we might see this pawn move and the queen come up. So we'll just see what my opponent does. Okay, has castled. I'm leaning towards just e3 and developing, I think. I could go g3, but then I might want my bishop going this way. Yeah, I'm not going to go for that kingside attack. So I'm just going to make sure I can develop the bishop, guard my pawn, get castled, and the bishop can come here if necessary. I'll get the cursor off the board there so there's no accidental free moves. Okay, plays knight out wide to attack the bishop, so bishop back is the logical move here. If you take, it does actually open the file for the rook. I could maybe leave the bishop there, but I don't think I should. So I'll just drop back, pre-move in case takes. Then I'll just still develop my bishop. So one of these, does it matter which one I go on? If I go here, we're likely to see bishop come down at some point. Here, you do put pressure on potentially. I've got queen up as well, bishop down, then bishop up actually might be sensible. I'm going to do that. See if he plays bishop down, then I'll just develop my bishop. It gives me the option to potentially go e4, but probably the bishop up. At some point there might even be ideas just to play knight in and sack, but I doubt it's overly feasible. Yeah, it could be awkward to castle queenside actually, couldn't it? Could be. I want to take the pawn, maybe bishop up. We might see ideas like knight coming down, could be awkward though. So actually, yeah, for now I'll just go bishop here. If down, then I've still got the option here. I can shift the queen. I might end up going kingside here, so I'm going to play a pawn up just to cut out this idea. So I've still got bishop up should he come forward, which he's done. So I'm just going to stick to that original idea. So a kingside attack is not so effective right now, I don't think. So I think I'm leaning towards kingside castle. Queenside looks a little bit dicey to me. Knight up now. Is it worth throwing a move in and coming back to try and encourage a pawn push? Knight up now. Can he try and play this? Takes and trap the knight. I don't think he can actually. It could be worth throwing this in just to encourage a pawn push. Bring the knight straight back. But I'm still likely to castle this side, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to castle. Being rapid, I think my opponent's obviously got more chance to figure things out. Now that might actually be losing a pawn. So take, you can take back with the knight. I think I can just simply grab a pawn. If bishop takes knight, we trade the queen. If queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook across takes, rook up. I think it's right to take rather than allowing a potential threat. It's just how my opponent takes back. So here, here. I mean, I don't have to take with a knight because my knight's protected, so I can leave it. So, queen's under attack. Takes, takes, takes. Check, takes. Bishop here. Maybe I can just go rook up. I could play across, takes, takes. Bishop moves somewhere. It's kind of quite equal, isn't it? I don't think I really want to take then. Takes here. Hold on, takes here. Maybe I just actually drop back and take with the queen. Yeah, I'm going to take, but I've got the option to take with a queen. All my knight still covers. He could just take and go down this route. Then I've got either options either way. It's whether or not he gets an outside pawn that he can then lay to queen. But we should have an extra pawn on the king side, so if we can stop it, then we should be better. But doesn't mean we are. I'll pre-move in case he takes a queen, because obviously that'll be the only move I would even consider. Oh, he has gone that way, so we have got the option to take back and not trade. So take with a queen, bishop takes, pawn takes. It's a little bit awkward, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go with the pawn. So I'll go down this route of trading some pawns off. So bishop takes, rook across, bishop takes, rook takes. It's whether we can stop this outside pawn. If we can't, then we could be just losing. So I could play rook up. Again, if he takes the queen, obviously it's the only move I've got, so I'll pre-move to take back. I might be simplifying this a little bit too much, might have done. Then rook a2 or rook b1 will be the only two potential moves. Okay, he's playing for more with queen across. So can I just grab a pawn and still keep this one guarded? It allows a move like rook across, but I don't want him to really collect this, I don't think. Knight across, queen takes, rook across, queen takes up. The same sort of concept, but it is a chance to grab a pawn. So if I then lose a pawn, how bad is it? But I want to keep the queen on this diagonal to guard this one. Take. I assume this rook would come across. Take the queen back where it is. Other rook might come across here. You can just attack the queen forever. So eventually I'll have to concede the diagonal. So is that a problem if I take? Knight across is the other move. I'm going to grab the pawn. It might be a blunder this. It could be. It could be, yeah. So we're going down this route. But if I grab another pawn, rook takes could be a move. Knight across, queen takes could be a move. I think I'm just going to play all the way back. And if rook across, maybe I'll just shuffle over. Let's figure it out as we go. Oh, he's grabbed the pawn, okay. But now I've got knight up. And there isn't a direct hit queen to the rook. So I could just shuffle my knight here. I don't think I've really got anything else, have I? So I'm going to do that fairly quickly. Then this rook's going to have to move somewhere. So I could still be losing this outer pawn. Queen down. I think I'm happy just to go into an endgame. But again, this pawn's going to be very awkward to defend. And I'm a bit down on the clock as well. I don't think a knight check is really gaining me a great deal. So these two pawns are what we're both likely to be targeting. We've both lost about half of our time now. It's actually very difficult to defend my a pawn, so obviously I can't play rook a2, so rook b1 and then try and aim for rook b7 or something could be sensible. And again, I could ignore this for now with a view to taking back and developing a pawn, and it would get it more in the centre, more advanced. So I could just shuffle a rook over, rook across, then try and get forward, but obviously this pawn's going to be lost. Oh, I could play rook here actually, couldn't I? Actually, I like the look of that. I'm going to play rook across. Get it off that diagonal so there's no hit from the bishop. Pre-move in case you take the queen. It allows my opponent to blunder further on the line with a rook across and a knight check. It shouldn't happen, but it's just a potential. Then I've still got rook to d3 potentially to guard my pawn. Although rook b3 could be a move, but it's done now, so let's just see how my opponent plays this. Yeah, after rook b3, oh, it's gone down the route of trying to keep the pieces on the board. Okay. Can I push this pawn then? Because that rook b3 is quite awkward. Maybe now I could try a move like this, but you're still targeting this pawn. Can I simply play king up to guard? Rook behind might become an option. King up, you're kind of guarding, aren't you? And there's no easy way for white to break through. I'm going to do that just to try and release the queen. Again, just so I don't burn all the clock. We're still fairly close on time. Knight check, I still don't see quite what I'm gaining, but I might be able to release the queen to guard one pawn and attack another now, because the rook guards the knight. Say rook up, then we've got queen across. But there is a potential pin here, so at some point this pawn could be vulnerable. I'll just click anywhere to clear the markings there, get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips. Yeah, queen a4 I think is looking like my next move, but I'm obviously not sure what my opponent is going to play yet. Oh, offers the queen trade, and that blunders a pawn, but it's whether I can keep this. Actually, no, it blunders a queen, doesn't it? Yeah, it just blunders the queen, loses the game on the spot. Again, just take them a few seconds to look at the possibilities. Very unlucky for my opponent there. Okay, so now I think we're fine to just grab that pawn there. I don't see any attack to the queen. So now I can activate the rook. Hit the pawn, hit the pawn. Yeah, just one simple mistake, that's all it was. And that should be good enough. Obviously, it doesn't mean I can't blunder back, of course, but it should be good enough. So we get the win. We will pause there, then put that through the analyzer. I suspect it's not going to be that great, but let's just see. I'm sure I've gone wrong somewhere early on in that game there, but it was pretty level the whole way through on it, apart from one mistake. But let's just see what the engine says. We did, what, 26 moves? Indian defense, the weird Tartar Cower defense. If you click on that there, it'll bring some puzzles up, as you can see what you can do in that. Oh, we were actually essentially better the whole game there. We were never really worse. Essentially level all the way through here, and we've actually then been building a gradual advantage. So still only +1 at this point, but we are actually better, so we probably played it all right there. 95% accuracy, 16 centre pawn loss. The lower that is, the better. That's pretty good. 85% from my opponent. So again, just that one blunder, which will be losing the queen at the end. Yeah, queen f5. Just that one blunder. You just need to take the time to spot that it's a mistake there. So in the end, that was a pretty good effort then. So a good win.